Welcome back, everybody, and the Wombat is back with another little short, let's say, a review or first play of Terra Firma 2. A very cool little simulation game. It's very much an environment simulation game, where it's basically simulates natural forces, giving you basically creative freedom to do what you want. You can sculpt the entire world. You can import your own maps. I will be using some of the built-in ones, but you can totally import your own height maps and play around with over 1,000 years, hundreds of thousands of years. You can basically move forward and see how the land is sculpted. You can actually also input things like lava and block off rivers and fill in all types of geology, obviously, and just change the whole region geographically. So let's jump in and have a bit of a play. It's really just an overview of Terra Firma 2. I never played Terra Firma 1, by the way, but this one sort of caught my eye. I always had a Terra Firma in the background. I saw this. So let's get straight into it. We are going to go sandbox, but I will show you quickly the campaign that you can use, so it sort of puts a little bit of a game onto it rather than just play around with the simulation. We'll play around with the simulation first, and then I'll just show you a bit of an overview of what this game is in it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to pick a place. You've got obviously a couple of built-in. Now, if you wanted to import your own height maps and everything, you can do that up to quite huge areas. I will say you need a beefy PC, 131 kilometers square, which is huge. I did try to throw in a map of my local area. Wasn't the correct height map, but I threw it in anyway. It was huge. It didn't come out the way it should have, but it struggled on my beast of a PC. So let's go straight in. We'll do Grand Canyon. Most people are familiar with that, but there's a lot in here. You know, there's Mount Fuji. There's the Nile, which was pretty fun. I've had a bit of a play with that and blocking the Nile off and seeing what would happen. Haven't done the Grand Canyon, so let's jump into there. Okay. So we'll load up the Grand Canyon, and we're going to pause it, which it is. So I'm going to put on pause at the moment. There is no sound within this game, so I'll just have some music in the background. Okay, so the height map is all here, and the environment. So you can zoom right in, and you can see we've got some obviously desert areas. We've got some rocky mountainside areas. We've got obviously the river itself, and then obviously around the river we've got some green area. Basically, I can now put the time on, and we can change this up, and we can basically, if we can't zoom right in, but you will slowly see, I can't zoom out, let's just get the speed up to a certain, you can't zoom in with speed. So you can see things moving and progressively moving. So you got rivers flowing through. You probably can't see it until I start, but you can see some of the environment changing. It probably isn't the best map, but you can actually see down here, and you can see which season it's in as well. We can fast forward this as well by throwing up here 100 times, and you're gonna zoom in. And then we zoom back out. And we zoom it up a bit more. Let's have a bit of a play around here. Not much is happening. Oh, we've got time on. We're going to get one more. There we go. So you can see the environment changing right now. Oop, there we go. You can see, and this is going, as you can see, how many years we're going into. Alright? And you can see the environment slowly changing, which is super cool. But what I like about it, so let's slow this down. Let's put it back to normal, is to do things like this. What would happen if you grabbed some soil, and let's just grab some basic soil at the moment, but here you go, you've got existing materials, so it'll copy the existing. You got dirt, you got igneous rock, you have, these don't always come out, sedimentary rock, I think you've got ice of some sort, but then you've got molten lava as well. So we can actually go over here, just to give you a bit of a show, and just put some molten lava in here. There you go, and we can actually now go forward to Yeah, there we go. And you can see the lava go down. Okay, so you can pretty much have a volcanic eruption here, right? And see what happens as we zoom out. There you go. How cool is that? As it goes and cools down. And you can see the days going. In spring, we're actually going to cover the water and the river. So it's super, super cool. So as I said, one of the favorite things I like to do with maps like this is block off and see what would happen with water. Now is that something I haven't used before? But anyway, go back over here. Is that like a... Let me try. What's this? That might be the same thing. Okay. Let's go... As I said, I haven't explored it too much myself, but it's just something cool. So we're just going to go plain old soil, plain old dirt. And we're going to block this river off and see what happens. And then I'll show you another... we're going to do same level. So we should be able to bring the level across. Alright. So don't worry, we haven't got any time on yet. Just trying to get a height. You make it, this will obviously form over time, will become a bit more realistic. But we've blocked off that. Alright. Now we don't have any cold areas, so let's bring in some weather and have a look at the weather forecast. So you've got the overlay and you've got the weather, so obviously quite dry. But what I want to do is we're going to block this off. So we'll just get our form of the land here and start speeding this up. Alright, so have a look. We're drying out downriver. It's all drying out, but we can already see, zoom it out, we're starting to fill. Okay, so what we're going to do is pause by zooming in. Unfortunately, you can't speed up at the moment when you're this close. You've got to zoom out. We are now going to, first of all, we're going to make it a bit colder up here. All right, we're going to also use some weather. So first of all, we're going to go to the temperature. We're going to go to, and you can change the weather in areas. So we're going to go up here. We want to pause. We're going to go up here. We're going to bring the weather down because I want it to ice up here. Okay, so let's see if we have some ice forming up here yet. Yep, cool, that's what I wanted. So now we've got north here in the Grand Canyon. Well, not actually which way this is, but anyway, it's up here we've got some snow forming. So what that's going to cause, obviously you will find a lot more erosion up here. You're also going to find water's going to start forming and wanting to flow downstream. Now what we're going to do is we're going to put some weather. So we're going to go up here and we are now going to, around some of these river bends, we are going to slowly form some rain bands. Okay. Probably a quicker way of me speeding this up. Oh yeah, advanced settings. Okay, so you can obviously make it random, or you can tell it how many times it's going to rain in those seasons. So, but that's okay, we're not going to change those. But as I said, we are going to just put in some blue to darker to purple, which is, as you can see, is a lot of millimeters if you look at the top right. So we're currently at around 750 mils. No, we're now heading into the blue, darker blue, and it should. So I could obviously make this bigger. Yep, darker blue. So that'll be enough. And that should get us into it pretty good with rainfall. On top of that, we've got the snow. Okay, so we're going to grab that off. Some other overlays. Oops, pause. Some other lays you've obviously got the let's see. I haven't really played with the. I don't know if that's been caused. It's just showing you where it is wet. Obviously, it's wet up there now that we put that in there. Okay, so let's put this back. Now we're going to get some time moving, and we're going to watch. Oh, look, here it is. Here's the water. And you can change the day-night cycle as much as you want. We're going to speed it up to super fast. Have a look. We're causing a lake. We've dammed it off. And then what you can do, you can play with it. And you're going to find this whole area is going to change because of the rain. But it's so cool. Obviously, you can already see the green areas move up. Got a little bit of heat going off, but that's going to dam up. Then you can have a bit of fun with it. Think of it as a little kid in the sandpit, and you want to dam up the water, build lakes, and then you want to destroy it. And that's pretty much what the wombat's going to do. We're going to fill the lake up, and then now you watch. If I quickly root this up, you're going to watch things deform pretty quickly. You can already see. Look! We're actually drying off. So we've actually, if we go back, pause. The sediment coming down from the mountain has basically built up lower lake. It's built up a lake here. The sediment's been pushed down, and now it's slowly filling up this lake here, which technically is quite deep. So what we can do, we can go. We want to sort of stop this erosion, or we want to dig this erosion out. Okay, so we're going to go here, here. And this is pretty much all it is. Simulation, as I said, it does have, I've gone really deep there, I've probably gone a bit overkill. But we want that water to come through. Alright, so we're going to simulate that. So again, you watch. That should, the water, yeah, the water's going backwards as well. So we can do this wide. Actually hasn't worked in the way the wombat wanted it to do, but we're just going to watch the sediment doesn't build up. But it's doing what it's meant to do. So what we can do, we're going to open this up anyway right now. We're going to build so we've built this here. See the water come through. Here it is. Probably not as much as the wombat thought it was going to be. But you can see how it's obviously created. It's obviously this lake's emptied into this lake, and obviously it's eroding. So basically a full geology simulation, which is really, really cool. And then again, as I said, you can play around with, like, we've totally changed the way this is no longer the Grand Canyon that everybody knows. And then if we want to now go up here, absolutely speed it up. Now look at the time. We're going to really speed this up. Have a look. The lake's filling again. There you go. Lake dries out. Really cool. And that's just going to slowly, and that's going to, watch it. It's going to open up the river as we come down here. Here it is. Look, the water's just filtering through. And the river's obviously got wider and as the water moves down the river. But again, it's starting to form another little stream if we come in close. Now you can have a bit of fun with it, like that's that. Then we can actually stop this. And if you want to go, oh, I want to fly through it, there's a little bit of a fun. You can take as many screenshots. It's not really, you know, top of the line flight simulator, but if you just want to get a bird's eye view, well, an eagle's eye, you can actually be, you can check out what you've created with an eagle. Can't do much more than that. As I said, there's no sounds on this simulation. Don't know if that is a plan, but you probably, when you think about it, you can really only have your nature sounds probably playing, not really relating, because you've got it in such fast motion over the years. But you can pretty much go and glide through your world that you've created. Or you can pick, let's go, we'll pick another spot. So let's go back. Let's go up to the lakes and go through some of these areas. There we go. So really neat, nifty little simulation. And this is a true simulation. This is pretty cool. Obviously I got too close to the water. You can see how we've turned desert or very dry into a nice wooded area down here due to our season change, and we've really made it cold and damp in winter, and the water is around for spring and summer for green growth. Yes, the eagle is static, it doesn't move. It's frozen in time. Okay, so that's that, and just to give you a bit of an idea of a bit of a play around with another map, we'll jump out to the main menu for a minute. I'll come back with another map. Alright, we're back here with the Nile. So this is pretty cool as well. And this is one that I've probably played with the most in terms of maps and having a bit of a fun with and damming stuff up and just seeing what would happen. So we get the seasons. You're going to get the seasons up here, snow. And then down here, let's just call it south for now, but you can see how the rivers are forming, especially the one on the outside, which is quite new, on top of the Nile. Now, again, we want to play around with it and we want to fill things in, and you can do exactly what you might just want to increase the rainfall. So if we go up here, like I was doing before, you actually already can see it's there's a lot of rain up here, but we could extend that out a bit. We're going to stretch this out. A bit more water. All right, cool. We're going to keep it cold. It's already cold up there. That's just going to give us a bit more rain. And if you watch closely, you'll see, yeah, how the river goes from slow flowing to fast flowing depending on the weather and as the ice melts, which is really cool. We're in winter, spring. Let's slow that down so you can see the seasons a little better. Again, really, really cool. Now, let's block off again. Let's get some more serious. Let's block this right up here. We've got all the crevices and valleys and canyons all little around here, so it's going to be pretty cool. So then we're going to see this one, and then we're just going to let it overflow. Now I'm hoping this one won't do what it did on the Grand Canyon because it's a bit more flow. Yeah, you can see it's filling. I can get and how fast erosion. So this is erosion. We don't really want to speed up erosion. But here we go. We're filling quite a lot. But we are going to get quite considerable. So let's keep going. We can minimize the erosion. No erosion. There we go. We'll just do no erosion for a bit, but then we are going to put erosion on because I want it to break the banks by itself. Oh, again. From the north, and we can see yeah, so we're getting quite serious in terms of dam size. I'm going to put a bit more rain in here just to get this moving. See the amount of water that's flowing. Summer, autumn, if we slow that down a bit. Summer, autumn, winter, and then we should get a rush of water as we go into spring. Here it comes. Awesome. Alright, speed that back up. But yeah, a super cool little sim. Don't think it's too much. I think it's about 20 Aussie. But very early access. But their first one was quite successful. That's why the wombat. And you can actually see, have a look. So we've got water building up through here. And we've got water coming down. I'm guessing the snow is hitting. Let me get up here. Yeah, a little bit of this snow up here. We're in spring, so go to winter. No, it's not much. Not much. There's a little bit of snow on this little top here. But the snow from here is obviously coming through here, so. But we are a bit of water forming here. You can see everything down south now. We have pretty much dried out other than a little trickle, little stream. A couple of little water holes, if you want to call them Aussie wise, formed. I think it's going to take a while, so I'll speed up a bit and I'll come back when the banks are about to break. Okay, we are back and we are about to show you it breaking the bank. So we have it here and you can see it's already started forming. We're only on normal speed and we are going to turn up erosion higher now. Okay, we go because we want it to break through. So here we go. So it turned out to be huge lake. I did put the rain on a little bit higher. So we've got 2 breaks here. Here we go. Turn up to erosion, overdosed of erosion. Alright. Still got it on normal speed, bear that in mind. And you will see down here now. Oh, it hasn't actually got real. It's coming through now. It's still on slow. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring it back to 1,000. We're going to put on normal speed. Here we go. And now you're going to get a wave of water coming through. Look at that. We've even broken the top banks. Look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Absolutely awesome. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. There we are. We've totally destroyed the Nile of what it was known as. And now that water's just seeped through. Again, we've got it at 500 times erosion, so we're looking at basically millions of years that have passed since I dammed it up. But this is where the water was in this area. And then it's moved into this area and it's now flowing into the ocean, which is right here. And basically, you can see the sandbank is slowly being pushed and the erosion is filling the ocean. So I don't know if you can't go underneath, but you can see the erosion of sand and sediment is filling the ocean to super shallow. So yeah, now you can let's just go crazy as we finish off. Alright, so this is on the top speed. You're going to see some crazy changes now. There we go. We've filled the ocean up. Here we go. Look. With sediment. There we go. And now it's all been pushed down. And now we're filling up as the new, I guess, ocean has been formed. It's now become one. And we've all dried up here, bar a few little flows of river that flow down, as you can see. And its little comes out this position. Once it hits outside, it actually goes off map, so it's basically no longer getting water through the main riverbed. Anyway, that's that. I've shown you. You can play with this as much as you want. It's really, really cool. Let me jump into quickly. This is going to be really like a minute. It's already gone too long. I only wanted to get you an overview of what it was about, and how much fun you can have it if you really want to. Okay, so campaign, I'm going to do what I am up to. I'm up to the Canyon Lands. Alright, and I'm not going to play the whole mission. So basically, it gives you a map. Let's get on the pause. You have a city. Alright, this is much graphical. That little picture there is as much graphics as you're going to get when it comes to your city. Pretty much everything, to be honest. So you can now place temples. It's a new thing I've got is temples. Over here we can place a temple. It tells you how far the road, and it tells you what sort of labor you're going to need. As you can see at the bottom, you've got your population. You've got your mana, which allows you to play. You can play with the environment. That's the whole point of this campaign, is you can mold your environment around your city, which is really cool. Basically like a god mode. Then you've got your labor, which you've got to produce. Food you got to produce. Timber you got to produce. You've got stone, iron, and gold. So generates more main. So main there is what basically you use to change the environment. So we're going to just place this anyway. It doesn't really matter. All right, cool. Got that placed. You don't need a temple right now, so we can disable it. We're not using it. It's a bit advanced. What we've got to do now is build a population, and we can't overlap a farm, which will build population. So we've got you can't produce. Production is very low in the desert, so we're going to have to start producing up there, away in the green. All right. Now we've got 102 mana, and then we can build another farm over here. The only problem about these is they're quite some distance away. All right, so straight away we can unpause. There we go. And we've already got food producing, and you're now bringing up. As long as you got positive food, you get population. As long as you got labor to fill your population, that you can do that. We need some wood to be started to be cut. We've got plenty of wood in these green areas. If you zoom in, you've got forests. Not forest, you've got lots of timber around growing, so we can come up here. This is a bit of a distance though, so we're using a lot of labor. So we need something a bit closer. That's probably good. We're still only going to produce a bit here. Alright, so what I'm going to do first of all, you play with the pot, you play with everything. So obviously we need to get more farmland, so we need more rain, right? So we use this. Rain is very expensive in your mana. So I'm already used up the 100 I have. The other way of doing it obviously is produce colder regions. So we put a bit more rain. And then you got to worry about erosion, because erosion will erode around your farms, which then they'll produce less. You can upgrade them as well. Upgrading costs 75 timber, and that'll allow us to upgrade them rather than building more. You have your roads. These are roads that'll make it cheaper in labor wise to get back to your city. Then you have your stables, which will produce labor. So, and the stables need to be obviously not in the, they're going to produce one here, or if you go off into a more, you're going to get more, yeah, you will, 7.4. So if we go up here north and more mountainous, you're going to get more there. And then mines have to be in the mountains or colder. And same with stone. You've got one here, but if we come down here, we've got none. So up here in that colder area or mountainous area, temples, which we've just built, which I'll tell you what actually generates more mana. We already spoke about that. Cool. And then we've got this is aqueducts, or mill, increases the production. So basically put these near rivers and it will increase your food production or timber production or labor production. So that's it. That's a little campaign just so you have something else to do and watch the environment. So you can still speed this up and you're still going to get issues. We're building our mana up and we've got our food coming up. So we're growing. We're at 140 from 100 already. And you can still do everything else. The only thing, and you can still, if you want to play with it and just have some fun with your citizens, you can put some lava in here and go crazy and do what you want. Okay, and that is Terra Firma 2, guys. So yeah, obviously it's pretty straightforward, the campaigns. They're not too hard. My goal at the moment is to reach 1500 population in this campaign tutorial, whatever you want to call it. And that's Terra Firma 2, guys. So if you want to go check it out, go check it out. It's on Steam. If you always dreamed of changing the environment, seeing how the environment where you live would look in a couple of thousand years times, a million years from now, grab the map. Most local governments will have local height maps around and stuff, and you'll be able to import them into this and play around with it as much as you want. Thanks, guys. The Wombat is out. That's already gone too long. See you later.